Good morning, children. Welcome back. Hope you all are fine. In the previous chapter, we studied about water bodies. We learned that 71% of the Earth's surface is covered underwater, and that water bodies include all the oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, ponds, and all. In today's class, we study about the major oceans of the world. We know there are 5 important oceans. They are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, and Antarctic Ocean. These are the important oceans of the world. For this part, let us start our class with the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean is the largest and the deepest oceans in the world. It was given the name Pacific by a navigator, Ferdinand Magellan. We know this Ferdinand Magellan was a person who circumnavigated the earth and proved that it was spherical in shape. So when he started this journey through the Atlantic, and when we reached in Pacific, he found out that the new ocean is comparatively peaceful than the other one. The ocean is peaceful means there were less waves, less winds. It was easy for him to proceed. So he named it as Pacific. Pacific is a Spanish word. The literary meaning of the word Pacific is peaceful. Already I told you that the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean and the deepest ocean. The average depth of the Pacific Ocean is 4,200 meters. The deepest point on the earth, Mariana Trench, is found here in the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean contains ridges, mountains, volcanoes, plateaus, and all. See, all the relief features that we can find on the land can be found inside the ocean too. All along its continental ridges or the borders, we can find a large number of volcanoes. So this area is called as the Ring of Fire. It is called as a Ring of Fire because all along the continental borders of Pacific Ocean, a very large number of active volcanoes are found. Because of these active volcanoes, tsunamis and earthquakes are very common in the Pacific Ocean. Let us study the characteristic features of Pacific Ocean. Already we saw that Pacific Ocean is the deepest ocean. Which is the deepest point on the earth? It is Challenger Deep. This Challenger Deep is in Mariana Trench, and that was in the Pacific Ocean. Suppose this is Mount Everest. If we pluck this Mount Everest and keep inside the Mariana Trench, it will not show out of the water. Mariana Trench is some 11,000 meter, that is 11 kilometer. On the other hand, Everest is only 8,848 meter. So the height of Mount Everest is lesser than the depth of Mariana Trench. The equator divides Pacific Ocean into two, North Pacific and South Pacific. Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean. Like the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Oceans too have a large number of relief features on its seabed, like mountains, ridges, canyons, gorges and all. A large number of important rivers drain to the Atlantic Ocean. The most prominent among them are Mississippi, Congo, Amazon and La Plata. These are some of the important rivers that flows to the Atlantic Ocean. Let us study the characteristics of Atlantic Ocean. It is the busiest ocean in the world. Busiest ocean means a large number of sea routes are there to the Atlantic Ocean. A very large number of seaports are situated on the shores of Atlantic. Because of that, a very large number of ships pass through Atlantic. It is the second largest ocean. We know the largest ocean is Pacific. Atlantic is the second largest ocean. It is roughly the size of the letter S. Atlantic is somewhat like the shape of letter S. The name Atlantic is derived from the Greek mythology. In the Greek mythology, we can find a figure, Atlas. Atlantic means the Sea of Atlas. Indian Ocean is the third largest ocean. It is comparatively smaller than Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean, as well as shallow. The average depth of Indian Ocean is only 4,000 meters. The Indian Ocean has thousands of small islands. Java, Indonesia, Sri Lanka are some of the important islands of Indian Ocean. Let us study the important features of Indian Ocean. It is the only ocean that is named after a country, India. India lies close to the Indian Ocean, and so it has got the name from the country India. It is comparatively an younger ocean. Many rivers drain to the Indian Ocean. The most prominent among them are Ganges or Ganga, Indus, Airavati and Sambasi. The Indian Ocean has two bays at both sides of the Indian Peninsula. The Arabian Sea lies to the western side and the Bay of Bengal lies to the eastern side of Indian subcontinent. The next ocean is Arctic Ocean. It is the smallest ocean. It lies around the North Pole. We know there in the North Pole it is extremely cold. So the Arctic Ocean remains frozen all through the year. Since it remains frozen, it is not navigable. It is not possible for any ship to pass through the Arctic Ocean. It is surrounded by Europe, North America and Asia. Let us see the characteristics of Arctic Ocean. Because of the low evaporation and the inflow of a large number of rivers to the ocean, its salinity is very low. So we can say that the Arctic Ocean is the least saline ocean in the world. Its temperature as well as salinity, it varies because of the melting and freezing of water. The salinity and temperature varies. Southern Ocean is the last. Some geographers do not consider Southern Ocean as a separate ocean. They consider it as an extension of Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean and Indian Ocean. It surrounds the continent of Antarctica in the southern hemisphere. It is larger than Arctic Ocean. And already I told you, some geographers do not consider it as a separate ocean but an extension of Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean. The boundary is fixed where the water from the three oceans mixes together, and beyond that the sea remain frozen, and that frozen sea is called Southern Ocean. So far we have studied about the 5 important oceans of the world. We have studied about their characteristic features too. I hope these points are clear to you. If you have any doubt, you are free to contact me through the Csoft app. It's enough for today. Thank you.